Okay, class, so like I said, you don't need to type out all your different menu items. You can simply just copy and paste it from pre-existing menus. So I just found a menu right here for Thanksgiving, so what I'm gonna do is go in here and highlight, without highlighting the image, of course, go down and hit copy and paste. If I see that the image is starting to do that, I can always delete that out. So I'll highlight all this, Command C, go back into InDesign, and then I want to make sure I have a different font selected, obviously, because this is not going to work. I probably want to do something along the lines of a simple yet readable text. So something like this, go down to 12 points, and then go Command V to paste, right? So here we just have our information, pretty simple, straightforward, easy to use, right? You'll notice that we have this little area right here which tells us there's more text. So if I go down, I'll see that there's more text going on, okay? So what I'm going to do is start to organize my layout a little bit more accordingly. And since this is Thanksgiving, according to this menu, looks like we start with the main course, so I'll just type main course, okay? And then this is pretty much going to be my main course, which is the maple roast turkey, okay? I'll cut that out and then I will bring that up here. So I'm pretty much just organizing my layout, right? And then I have, instead of the salads over here, it's probably going to say something else, probably say sides. All right, so here is where we can start to move this text to the side of the column. What I'm going to do is click here, click this area, click and drag over this column like so, and you'll have that pasted over. So we no longer have any text that is lingering down here. It can, but see how it's linked? So let's say this is where we want the text to go, and then the text box will link to this other text box right here. So the way I did that was I basically took the text icon like so, that, okay. I'm sorry, I did not take the text box, I took the arrow select. And you see this little red square with the plus sign? We're going to click that and you get this icon that has this text on top. And then click and drag. And see, now it links all those three text boxes together. Okay? And then we'll just deal with this later on. So this will probably be drinks here, so we'll probably want to change this. Have it say drinks. Alright, it looks like I have an extra text box, so we don't want that. Sorry. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out, Command X, bring this over to this text box and go Command V. So that way I get rid of this extra text box in here, which I don't need. Alright, so instead of main course, this is going to be called drinks. And then the dessert section will be right here, and this seems to be the dessert section, which is the dreamy apple pie. I'll take that in here and just copy it. Alright, so now I'm organizing my menu information accordingly. Now I have my sides, I don't need this part. I have my titles, and I probably need something like a description for each. So, because it is a menu that we will be featuring during the holidays, we'd like to see a little bit more descriptions for each. So, what I did was basically go into each and every one of those sides, so oyster dressing, copy and pasted this part over here. And then I went back into InDesign and pasted that. I'm not taking any credit for this, obviously. I will credit the Pioneer woman for this. And then, I'm not claiming this as mine in any way. This is just a demo. So now that we have our text laid out for the maple roast turkey and then the oyster dressing, we probably want to take a look and see how some of those menus have certain font treatment. So if I go back and I show you some examples of how some of those menus look, we see that there is a specific type treatment with the title, and then for the more detailed text, we see just regular copy underneath. So something along the lines of having the text all in bold makes this very easy to read, and it gives us a sense of hierarchy. So we see breakfast as the main category, then we take a look at the second piece of information, second read, second piece of hierarchy, Spanish omelet, and then the details underneath it in a much lighter weight font, and it's also smaller. We're using 3 different sizes of fonts, and they could even be 3 different types of fonts, but in this case these 2 are probably the same, they're just treated differently. This one just is a different font altogether. Alright, so those are some of the details that we want to have for our menu. Okay, and here we can also take a look at this particular font treatment where we have, again, the caps for the categories and then an italic with some kerning, a lot of kerning in between. So those are also some title treatments and subtitle treatments we can use. And then we also take a look at this menu right here where we use bold. We're not using any caps for any of the details here except for the actual categories. So different title treatments for us to use. So just pick an inspiration piece that you find interesting, and also have it be easy to read and use. So what I'm going to do is work on my menu here and give it some kind of a little bit of a font treatment. So I'm going to go with Allegra Sans, and I'm going to go bold, and then I'm also going to create an all caps version right here, and then bring up the kerning in between the letter forms. So do something like this. Okay, I might want to go a little bit smaller. Right? So I think this can go smaller as well. That might be too small, so something like that. And then scrumptious cornbread made in an iron skillet. So that works. However, I think this might be a little too long. So I probably want to hit return. And kind of leave it like this. And I'll do that for the rest of my text, right? So again, I'll take the eyedropper tool and select and create that same effect for the rest of my information. Same thing with the rest of the subtitles, baked mashed potatoes with shallots, one chowder. So you kind of get the idea here where we are simply organizing our information according to hierarchy and also according to readability so that it's a lot easier to read. So as I can see, I might need to make this a little bit smaller if I want all this information to fit underneath. Now I can either leave this as it is, or I can add maybe a sentence or two underneath each of those categories, which I like to do for specific menus. And that's usually what I get for menu selections, is to include more details. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to make these a little bit smaller. Now, let's see if we go down to 10. I think 10 might be a better option for us. So this one's probably going to be 10 as well, just for consistency. And we might need to bring down the text down to 10 as well. All right. Now, we can choose to do something more lines of a light italic. That's also nice. Or you can keep this regular weight like that. That's also an option. Another little detail you can also use is to divide up the information like so. I'll just copy and paste that. But you get the idea. It's pretty much organizing the information on the page according to hierarchy and according to looking at how our categories look on the page, and also looking at title treatments. So this is what InDesign is really good at, is with text, and a lot of text that we can use. So again, if I want to do the same treatment over here, I will simply use the eyedropper tool. Oops. That. Edit, cut. Make sure that we don't have any. I think we're good. Go back to where we were. Give this a little bit more breathing room. Okay. And then here I will use this and see if I need any more. I'm not sure. Sorry about this, class. Sometimes we have some hiccups, right? And I might want to edit out the amount of information here. That might be a little too much, okay? So what I'd like to see is a menu treatment that has a front cover and a back. So in the back will be where these pieces of information lie. Some kind of title treatment for the categories is what I'm going to be working with. So I'll see you in the next video when I have the type all laid out, and just simple things we can do to enhance this layout even more.